guys, it's Sophia's here, and today I will bring to you a video where I review the 3 to-do list methods I have tried throughout the years and which one will work out the best for you. They are bullet journal, to-do list app, and Notion. I will leave the timestamps down below, so if you are interested in only one of them, feel free to jump straight to that part. Let's start with the first method, which is bullet journal. When I was in high school, this method was like all the rage, and like many other students, I just picked it up and somehow managed to use it for 2 years. My system is really simple. I just use a square for studying related tasks, a triangle for extracurricular activities, and a circle for taking care of myself. And besides listing all the stuff I need to do every day, I also use it to track my drinking water habit. And now let's talk about the strength of this method. I would like to list several of them. The first one must be that it's really suitable for extra people like me who work more efficiently with colors and visuals. Like when you compare just writing on a random piece of paper or a notebook, keeping a beautiful notebook like this is motivated me more to keep it rather than that just like abandon it after or lose it after just a few days. Combine that with the feeling, the sense of accomplishment when at the end of the day when you get something done and got to cross it out, it just like encourage you a lot to accomplish the other tasks left. The second benefit of this method is that it's kind of gives you a big picture of the amount of work you need to do that day, and like it prepped my brain that well, you have this many things to do, you need to allocate the time accordingly. So like imagine that normally you just let the task float around in your brain and you don't feel any sense of responsibility toward it, but once you like hold pen and write down, you grow a sense of attachment to that task, and you know that if you don't do it today, you will have to write it again and again until the day you finally finish it. Another point I would like to add is that bullet journal is really versatile. It's not just somewhere you can write down your to-do list. You can literally write down any kind of list you need to remember in this. Like for me, there are many pages in here where I write out the list of stuff I need to buy for my club's event, the list of tasks I need to do to revise for my finals. So yeah, flexibility is also shown in the fact that you can leverage any kind of system you want. If simple, you can just list things with bullet points and cross it out when you're done. If you like it extra colorful like me, you can paste on a lot of stickers and so on. Moreover, because it's a paper notebook, you can easily look back at what you've done on exactly what day, what month, of what year. And I think it's a rare benefit that not many other methods offer. Last but not least, this method definitely make you look way more productive compared with, like looking on your phone. People would always assume that you're surfing the internet at Facebook or something, but if you're using a notebook, you for sure are being productive. Especially for students from primary school to high school, your phone usage is like still restricted and you cannot like really bring it to school or something. I think it's really suitable for you guys. And now let's move on to the weaknesses of this method. There's several of them I would like to mention. First of all, it's time consuming. I confess that there are many moments, many days I just don't feel like decorating at all, and the fact that I have to write down the date and some like recurring task every single day is really tiring and it's not really efficient. The second weakness that you should take into consideration is that it's not convenient to bring it around with you everywhere, and unless you use a like pocket notebook. Lastly, if you are someone like me who get bored with something very quickly and don't like buying thick notebooks and that means you have to buy new ones very soon. So I feel that it contributes to consumerism. So if you're passionate about sustainability, that is something that you should also consider. That brings me to my conclusion that I will rate this method a 7.5 out of 10. I still highly recommend it to anyone who has just started their journey on keeping a to-do list, and especially for someone who's trying to restrict the phone usage or just being restricted by somebody else. Well, after all the obstacles I encountered with bullet journal, I have decided to try out another method, which is a to-do list app on my phone. I have tried like a lot of them, both on Android and then iOS, but like most of them I just gave up after a few days, and the ones I truly liked of most of the time charge a really high fee for the premium version. For a student like me, I just can't afford them. But finally, one day I have found the love of my life, which is an app called just Do, and I use it for 2.5 years. It's really simple to use this app. You can use the plus button to add a new task to your list, like wash clothes, for example. And if you got it done, you double tap. If you want to delete it, you swipe to the left. If you want to add a shopping list, you can add new group and name it shopping list and add. And if you want to pin a certain task to the top, you swipe right and pin it. You want to mark it with some kind of like stickers, you can put stickers next to it like this. Very simple, and the interface is so minimalist and beautiful. Like it just feels really comforting to use it, and here the sound effects is reassuring. I felt like using a bullet journal all over again. But the super feature of this app that I want to mention is the recurring task feature. You swipe right and you see this arrow button, this one, and you will if you want this task to appear every day, you can choose every day. If you want it to appear only at the weekend, you can choose that. And you can even choose like a specific day of the week. Like I want to study Chinese on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. I can choose these days for this task to appear. Other than that, it will not appear on the to-do list. As you can see, it managed to inherit the advantages of bullet journal while also solve a lot of the problems of the previous method. So that's the reason why I absolutely love it. And if you have updated to iOS 14, you can bring this app to the main screen of your phone, like without having to open the app. You can see all the tasks like immediately when you open your phone. So it's just really convenient for you to use. Thanks to this app, I have developed a lot of habits like reading, studying Chinese, as well as practicing yoga. Besides, this app is free, guys. It's like it does have a premium version where you can use several restricted features, but personally I don't think they matter that much, and you can still use the free version very comfortably. And they have two versions, as I've shown on here. As you can see, both of them are very minimalistic and easy to the eyes. Now let's move on to the weaknesses of this app. I must admit that the recurring task feature sometimes get faulted. I still don't know why, but like for example, sometimes it appears on the day that it's not supposed to do, but still it's not too much of a problem, and it's just like a little bit annoying sometimes, but I can't complain too much when I'm using it for free. In fact, the biggest weakness of this app I must mention is that you cannot create a hierarchy in this app, and I think hierarchies are very important to prevent you from procrastinating because it makes the task look way less intimidating. But this app can't do that. Another problem is that this app sync across device not very smoothly, if not to say very
terribly, I should
say, because I tried downloading it on my iPad and it just don't upload the information immediately, and they're like two different versions of two different people, so I can only use it on my iPhone, and that is not really convenient for me. All in all, I rate this app a 0.5 out of 10. I still really love it. I still highly recommend it to everyone who is looking for a to-do list app that is free. Let's move on to the final method that I would like to introduce today, which is Notion. You guys have followed the productivity community, you must have heard of this app. I'm a really big fan of Notion, and the way I use it to create my to-do list is pretty simple. No colors. As you can see here, I will list out all the days in a week beforehand, and for each day I will split it into two parts. Above I will list the tasks I need to do for that day, and below are the recurring habits I want to accomplish every day. That's it. So the strength of Notion is that its interface is super minimalist. Most importantly, you can create hierarchies in this app, and not just one level, but like all the levels you want, as you can see here. So I just find it like more encouraging to start working on the task. And furthermore, I can plan beforehand all the stuff I need to do in a week, not just like within the day as before. That allows me to have a big picture of what I need to get done, and combine that with this task for the upcoming weeks, like where I list some tasks with a coming deadline, but I don't want to do it or don't have the time to do it yet. It will reduce the chance that I will miss a deadline or forget about certain stuff I need to accomplish. Another important point that is worth mentioning is that it's free for students. So yeah, like
wonderful.
And this app is only like 41 MB, so it does not take much storage space at all. You can easily customize this app whatever way you want. You can put it in like bold or italics or highlight it. You can even insert a GIF or an image or YouTube video, whatever you want. But for weaknesses, I must say that if you use it on your laptop, there's no problem, but when you use it on your phone, scrolling down to Sunday can be a little bit tiring. But like it's not that big of a problem, so I can still handle it. There's one more problem, but I think it's due to my lack of knowledge rather than because of the limits of this app, because this app is just really powerful. But yeah, if you either have to create a new page for the next new week, or you have to delete the data on the old week, and that's what I do. And that leads to the next problem, is that you cannot look back on what you have done. Maybe there are better ways to do it. I have just have not figured it out yet. But because so far it has not been too concerning for me, so because I have a separate habit tracker, so I just log in all the habit I have accomplished into that tracker, so it just still works out really well for me. So overall, I rate this app a 9 out of 10. I have been using it for a year now, and I will keep on using it until forever. I think I just really love it and highly recommend it to everyone. And that's also the end of today's video. I will leave the template of my weekly plan down below for you guys. If you have any questions or any other topics you want me to talk about, please comment down below. And if you find today's content helpful, please leave a like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Bye, see you.
to fall in love.